What's going on, fam? Back with another video. Hope you guys have been doing well. Today's an absolute massive one. Pumptober is already starting. We're having massive green daily candles already. As of yesterday, we had a 4% daily candle on Bitcoin, having massive candles on Ethereum and our other base native token assets like Toshi. So looking absolutely amazing. I did tell you guys October is the month for Pumptober, and I do expect this is to continue for the remainder of this month as well as Q4. So without further ado, I'm Dope Oxide. I make content on YouTube, X, and CoinMarketCap, so be sure to follow those pages. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. First of all, for liquidations, $600 million today. And I did tell you guys, whenever we get above $750 million, I do expect an inflection point. So in this case, since it is on the short side, and if we do see some more short squeezes, I would not be surprised we're going to local top, maybe at least have some consolidation before a next leg up. Because once again, the rules do not change. If we do see massive liquidation events, and the same thing as long liquidations, the same can happen for shorts. So I do expect if we do have some massive short squeezes to the upside, we can expect a little pit stop, a little consolidation before the next move up. So just another reminder as well, like look, we had two back-to-back massive liquidation events, over $1 billion. And when we had those events, we had marginal lower lows do get printed. But look, the reversal did come after, and we're having a lot of squeezes to the upside to the opposite way. So I do expect continuation to occur until we get that $750 million plus liquidation event. Next up is liquidation heat map. And look, when it comes to liquidation heat map, looking very bullish. We're getting lower liquidations happening on the top side. And when it comes to updates, look, we're having a lot of liquidations getting built below us here, about the 109k region. And look, when it comes to this, I don't think this is going to get retested. I don't think this is actually going to get touched for October. And the reason is, I really do think all-time highs is going to happen for October. And basically every time Bitcoin has gone into a major impulsive move to the upside and broken to all-time highs, really never has a retracement to new lows. Example, if Bitcoin makes new all-time highs here and then happens to crash down to the 109k level, that is very bad, because that means this run is a deviation, and more than likely that is the top for the cycle. But of course, nothing to be confirmed as of yet. I do think that all-time highs is to come for Bitcoin, and we can actually see some continuation to the upside and finally hit that 150k level I've been talking about for so long. Next up is the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, and let me just move this squiggle out of the way. Look, when it comes to this, we're still consolidating. I do expect this is to break out in the next few days or so. As you guys can see, we're actually sort of consolidating in a flag here. And once this flag pattern actually breaks to the upside, I do expect acceleration to occur for Ethereum. And look at that, like once this breaks out, I do think we're going to get above that 0.04 key region, which will of course mean acceleration for Ethereum and our base native token assets. Next up is Ethereum to USD, and look at that, it just looks so good. We're having that squeeze. This dump here was typical seller exhaustion and a retest of previous all-time highs. As you guys can see, and let me just draw it up quickly, really the last few weeks we're just consolidating and retesting that major resistance level, and now it has been confirmed as support. And I really do think this is the time for Ethereum to make new all-time highs. Let me just zoom out to the weekly, and as you guys can see, look, like it actually looks so bullish. Look, we wicked down below, we wicked into that major resistance level, and now has been flipped as support. And really, once we do break out of this downtrend, I do expect all-time highs is to come, and more than likely we will see that in October, worst case November. I do think Bitcoin is going to hit all-time highs for this month, but Ethereum, I'm still not 100% sure on that as of yet, because of course Bitcoin is usually the first mover, and then all the other altcoins tend to run behind it. And let's just see how strong Ethereum is for this month, but looking very bullish. And it's looking like Pumptober is in fact named correctly, and I really do think this will continue for the remainder of this month. Next up is Bitcoin USD, and when it comes to the daily time frame, basically the only thing to look at really is this diagonal downtrend. And look, we've popped up ahead, and it's really looking like this was a series of higher highs and higher lows. So we had our low gain print, we had a higher high, now a higher low, and once again another higher high. I would not be surprised now we have a little retest of this 115k level of that downtrend consolidation, and then have a nice pop to the upside for all-time highs. Who knows, we could just keep squeezing to the upside, but the target is all-time highs for October, and we could have some pit stops on the way. Before continuing on to the latter part of the video, I'm going to play a segment that sponsors the channel. If you guys are looking for the fastest trading bot to add to your suite, I do recommend the Base bot. Base bot is the fastest trading bot on any chain that have support for Ethereum, Base, Binance Smart Chain, etc. And personally, I use it for my trading suite for degen trading. It has the fastest transaction speeds. It has multi-wallet support. It has support for Base, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, etc. And my most favorite thing about the bot is it has full anti-MEV protection, so you don't have to worry about getting sandwich attacked on any EVM chains. But when it comes to Base Trading Bot, it is the fastest Telegram trading bot, and personally I use it. Be sure to click on the link in the description below, and thank you for supporting the channel, and I will continue now to our next segment of this video. Alright, next up is Total 3. Total 3 is looking absolutely amazing right now. Let me just get rid of his squiggle line. And as you guys can see, we've fully recovered. We tested that $1.08 trillion level, and we're broken above. And really, next steps from here is breaking all-time highs and having continuation. And I told you guys, look, once Total 3 breaks out, do expect absolute massive moves to happen for Base Chain. Next up is the stock market. And stock market actually just made an all-time high today, and it's looking like it's just still going to continue ahead. I thought this would actually consolidate for a bit and dip more, but look, stock market is clearly strong, and this just tells me we're not ready for the rotation that's about to happen into crypto, because I do expect once stock market and gold actually top from here, I do expect a massive rotation of liquidity from gold, from stock market, and old assets into crypto. Next up is Toshi, and look, Toshi is looking absolutely amazing right now. Let me just shift this over for a bit. And look, when it comes to updates, I did tell you guys I will be tracking the parabolic channels for Toshi, because I do expect Toshi to get into a parabolic move for the latter part of his cycle. And as you guys can see, we have a little diagonal uptrend from here, and I want to see this actually being held. So example would be is basically this keep grinding higher highs and higher lows for the remainder of this month. And if this actually gets confirmed, this tells us really Toshi is in a parabolic move. Might not seem like it is right now, but if it keeps confirming higher lows and higher highs, I do expect acceleration to continue. Of course, this isn't my top target for Toshi. I do expect for it to go way into new all-time highs. But of course, early days, I don't want to give you guys price targets. I would be very surprised Toshi doesn't make new all-time highs for this bull cycle. I do expect Toshi to get more tier 1 listings, Binance, Robinhood, etc. and stay the #1 meme coin on Base Chain. So if you expect Base Chain to go absolutely bananas for the remainder of this bull cycle, I don't see why Toshi wouldn't either. Next up is Alien Base. Alien Base is still in our purple risk to reward box, and I do expect acceleration to occur once Ethereum actually breaks it to all-time highs. The thesis has not changed for Alien Base. I do expect this to really get moving once the 11-cent region is broken and once Aerodrome actually makes all-time highs. Next up is World Token. And look, it's actually looking like World Token wants to break out to the upside. I did tell you guys to be open to a dip into that major resistance to support flip level, which was the 20-cent region. But it looks like we didn't get that. Really looks like World Token wants to break out. Technically, this will be our first ever 12-hour close above this downtrend if this is to actually confirm. So basically, if World Token breaks above the 2255 region, that actually confirms a trend has been changing for World Token. And I expect this is actually the preceding move for World Token to actually make new highs, new all-time highs, because I really do think when it comes to fundamentals of World Token, it's one of the strongest fundamental projects on Base Chain. It's got over 2.5 million users, and I do expect people to actually take notice of that, especially because it's on Base Chain. Next up is the FedWatch tool, and look at that. For October, we have 25 bips at basically a guaranteed chance, looking like we're going to get that rate cut for the end of this month. And I do expect continuation to occur for rate cuts. I also do expect December to also have a rate cut. And look, when it comes to this, basically this just tells us the markets are going risk on. Very bullish times. We're going to see a lot of liquidity rotation from the older traditional markets into crypto. And I do expect Q4 to be very fun and very bullish. Next up is a tweet by Psychedelic. I'm not going to go through everything, but his chart is very interesting to note. Because look at that, every time Ethereum has made a major low the past year on the RSI, so as you guys can see in April, in June, and last month, a major low getting printed, and the last few weeks back in end of September wasn't any different. We're going to have a continuation to the upside now, and I really do expect a major move is about to happen for Ethereum. Especially something to note is on the RSI, we're in a major wedge for the RSI, and it's looking like it's actually want to break out from here. So I do expect once this RSI gets moving, we're going to see massive acceleration like we had back in June. Basically, once the RSI starts breaking out like we had in June, we're going to have a monster move probably $1,000 candles to the upside on the weekly. It's going to look absolutely amazing because I really do think the time is ticking, and we're probably going to see massive rotation for our base native token assets very soon. Eclipse period is behind us, and it should mark a trend shift again. Next pair comes in the second part of February, so if we keep going till then, that's the local top. If we are correcting into that period, that's the bottom. Mark February 17th. So what is this chart? This chart is basically based on time periods. So basically every time this happens, we do expect a major move to occur. And basically the last 3 times we had this print of a local bottom getting printed, we've had a major move to the upside, local bottom, major move, local bottom, and I do expect the same is about to happen for Bitcoin. Now, we can expect basically the next 2 months is up only for Bitcoin. We're going to have some retests though. We will have some dips like we had previously, but I do expect this move to be absolutely explosive. And let's see where we go. I'll keep you guys up to date for this chart, because if we do top out into February, that will most likely mean we're going to grind sideways, if not down, for that duration. And to be honest, I would not be surprised that is when the bear market actually begins. But let's see where we go. Nothing is confirmed as of yet. But what is confirmed is more than likely the odds are in our favor for Bitcoin to keep continuing up, just like it is for Pumptober. Final tweet from Decojar. Feels like every level is a big level for Bitcoin at the moment. And this was just something really interesting to me, because look, we had so many resistance points getting tested on the weekly at the 119.4k level. And I do expect once this is confirmed, once this is actually closed above this, I do expect a massive monster move is about to occur for Bitcoin. And look, once that happens, if we get it closed above 119.5k next week, look, we're going to have some massive volatility to occur. And I would not be surprised we have short squeezes over the $1 billion range for liquidations. But nonetheless, looking very bullish. The trend is your friend to the end, and I do expect the trend is up for the next few months, and more than likely Q4 will be the month of all-time highs. Just another reminder, of course, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion. I'm only relaying what I see on the charts and data points. So that's all to the video, guys. Hope you have a good one. Hope you have a good day. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.